Hi, we're live with Merle, the mermaid. Welcome to Spill the Kopi with me, CuddlyBossLady. And thank you, Merle, for staying up till 3 a.m. in the US to chat with us today. Let's start off perhaps with you can tell us a little background about yourself and what you've been up to.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to speak with you guys in Malaysia, and it's all worth to be up until 3 a.m. My name is Merle Liivand. I am Estonian swimmer who actually lives in Florida right now. I am also known as Estonian mermaid because I'm really passionate to live the mermaid life, and I am right now still a professional open water swimmer, but all my life actually I was a breaststroke swimmer. And as well, I am two-time Florida winter champion in breaststroke events.
Oh, wow.
And I am also ice swimmer, entrepreneur, advocate to bring more people towards the swimming instead of seeing them going from swimming pools, and advocate for oceans and cleaner oceans.
Well, welcome. I really hope that you'll be able to come out here one day and swim with us as well.
I would love to. I mean, I saw all the pictures about Malaysian beaches, and I feel you guys really live in the mermaid life there.
We try. We try to get to our oceans and swim as much as monsoon season will allow us. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, actually, you mentioned that you're based in Florida right now, and you were training for the the Olympics or the Olympic trials for the 10 km. Am I right? And
Yes.
so I was curious, how do you? I mean, a lot of the people who swim with us and so on are also within open water. And how did you train for something of that level?
Oh, it's a lots of training in the ocean and lots of gym training and pool training. But open water is such a different animal compared to any pool swimming, because during even the practices you have to face sharks, you have to face jellyfishes. Sometimes you have a calm water, sometimes you have really wavy water where you have to deal with the currents. And as coming from Estonia, where you mostly have lakes, and of course you have the Baltic Sea, but I never knew it. Even there is like two different currents possible when you swim in it, and I got to know that in Florida. And but the reason why I really like open water swimming is like you have so many different emotions going through this 10K even. And I actually have also open water club in Miami. So if you guys are ever in Miami, reach out to me, because we have over 250 swimmers, and we swim every Sunday around different islands in Miami and on the South Beach, what probably lots of people have seen on a TV. And we have a pretty amazing group going even during the quarantine, because you can social distance in the ocean.
Yes,
But I was
spread out.
yeah, I was really bummed. Yeah, I was really bummed that Olympics and the Olympic trials, because I was so ready to go to Japan. Last year, I was representing Estonia in World Championships, FINA World Championships in South Korea, and I hope next year we can come down to Japan and do the Olympic qualifier, and I'm keep training until then. But open water is also this kind of amazing sport where you can when you do open water, you can also try to do triathlon, and there is also in modern pentathlon is moving towards to the open water. So there's a, or even CrossFit has a open water 300-meter race. So
Oh
I
wow.
feel, I feel open water is the next big popular sport what affects the world.
Oh, that's amazing though. I never knew that CrossFit had an open water section in their. Is it their competitions as well?
Yes, yes, it's amazing. I got to see that in Miami. They had the World Championships here last year, as I believe, and I was so amazed. And as well, the U.S. Pentathlon have brought up a new segment of kind of like you have a laser run, you have a run, and then you have a swim in open water, and it just shows how much the wild swimming comes to play and how much that grows, especially now during the quarantine.
Yeah, because pools may not necessarily be open, but people had access to like the lakes or the sea, um, and were able to swim in small groups. But at least they were able to swim and experience it. Some for the first time. So it's amazing. It's a growing sport, right? I mean, it's been around, but it is, I think, growing hugely in popularity. Which
Yeah,
is good. Yay!
yeah,
Yeah.
when I started doing open water, even in Scandinavia and Baltics, I mean, right now I have done two world championships, and nobody in the Baltics and Scandinavia on the female side have stepped into, because lots of athletes are a little bit, it's a scary sport. It's 10K and also 5K, and so much can happen during the race, and there you have to have so many critical thinking angles there, instead of pool where you jump in, you look down and you're doing a couple of laps, and then the race is over. So I really hope that when I keep doing the open water swims, that more people from Scandinavia and Baltics are stepping into.
I mean, it's really cold that side. I mean, to do that, and you'd mentioned ice swimming, um, and you've done ice swimming in including world championships.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your experience doing ice swimming? I can't imagine.
I know. It's funny sometimes when kids meet me, they're trying to tell all their parents, like, she swims on ice. It's
Like on
spooky.
ice.
Yes. Um, so actually, ice swimming has been. I mean, if you think about Estonia and Scandinavia, I mean, Vikings were doing ice swimming before there was an open water swim, and then came the pool swimming, and it's really growing. I mean, the World Championships 2018, where I went, was held in my country, and instead of watching that on the side, I decided to jump in, even though I live in Florida, and then that there was like 42 countries and 1,500, like 1,500 athletes. So
Wow.
it's really popular. If you look the statistics, lots of people love to do ice swimming, and even in Estonia, some companies send their people for a lunch break, go and take the ice swimming, so you're mentally are more clear to
Mm.
work, because they say the ice swimming has so many health benefits. But ice swimming, I did 200-meter breaststroke and 50-meter breaststroke, as well 125. And basically, you go in and you wait your start, and you start inside of water. The water is 0 degrees usually, and you don't wear any wetsuit, and you swim without really having a start and turns. And the rule in breaststroke is like you have to have a head up. So it was quite challenging, but I was so happy to do it. On 200 breaststroke, actually, I was on a lead a long time, and I think the last 7 meters, my Florida skin a little bit got frozen, and one girl passed me, but I was happy with the silver medal. And coming out from,
Awesome.
in my event was 138 people, so I'm still really proud of myself coming second there.
Wow.
And actually, FINA is really looking into bringing that towards to their, under
Winter.
their organization.
Oh, I can't imagine. Oh. I mean, what sort of thing would go through your mind? I mean, when you first, I mean, you don't dive in, you kind of push off, right? Or you just go. I'm not sure how it
Yeah.
works.
So you go in and you have to be in, the water has to be until here. Even when you have one shoulder out, you get 5 second penalty.
Oh,
And
so you really
yeah,
have to be immersed other than the top of your head.
yeah. And sometimes, you're in there and some girl is taking too long time. So you're already freezing there. But what mostly I was trying to think is breathe and survive.
I suppose, yeah, it's like keep moving, just keep moving, right? And because you don't want to think, if you think too much about the temperature and all that, and you're gonna feel it even more, right? You're just like, I gotta go, I just gotta finish this.
Yeah, and I have to say, it made me feel alive so many ways. So, because you have to have different straight race strategy. I mean, you can't go all out right away because your breathing is different during the ice swimming, and as well, if you go all out, you already are frozen doing stroke there, and then you go cramping, and then you deal with so many other emotions there. But when you finish, it's like you
Yes.
come out and you feel like, oh my god, outside is so warm.
And you're like, I did it.
Yeah,
Where's the nearest hot coffee? And
exactly.
or alcohol, if depending on the well, knowing
Yeah,
Scandinavians, and it's the fastest way to warm up, right?
right. I mean, there was a lady who was 84 doing that.
Wow.
So, I mean, it just gives you idea that maybe ice swimming keeps us alive longer time.
Preserves us in a better way.
So somebody told me another day, well, it makes sense because you put the meat on the freezer too, right?
That's true. I can't imagine, like, yes, I'll just immerse myself in ice. I mean, does your technique change when you're swimming in ice?
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing was that I didn't have any knowledge of what is ice swimming really. And I was training in Florida for 6 months every day under the hot summer. And I just started looking everybody's stroke and studying basically through YouTube. And I figured out number one is you have to be actually stronger with your kick and core and to hold yourself up to make sure that you don't, because the moment when your head goes down, again, 5 second penalty. And 100 breaststroke that happened with me, and I lost my silver medal there. And I
Ah,
got like fourth place after that. And um and i and i learned from that because keep your head up, like make sure your cap is up, is really hard to do it. But it's everything comes from your neck and holding us like a strong core. And I compare myself that I'm like a master of planking in the top
oh
of the
yeah, right.
water.
Well, I mean, I suppose in open water swimming, you need a strong chair because you're gonna, you're sighting and all that, so you'd lift your head a lot more often than you would obviously with pool swimming. But I can't
Yeah,
imagine holding yourself like, you know,
and then doing it. But if you
fast,
go,
but just like, oh, I have to go faster, right?
yeah, actually, my 200 breaststroke race is in Instagram. The whole race, I can send you actually the link, and you can see there how I'm like in fire, and I'm because I got I lost on 100 breaststroke my medal, so on 200 I was like so ready to show the world.
It's like, I'm a pool swimmer, but I can do the ice. I can, you know.
And I have to say, the reason why I'm probably today open water swimmer is because I was all my life a breaststroke swimmer, and that strong upper body is something what I learned to apply to open water.
So, I mean, do you still plan to? Well, you mentioned on one of your posts that you are also looking at fin swimming, because that's a growing sport as well. I only recently learned about it, and I was watching some, YouTube where you can see many things. So I was watching the competitive fin swimming, and I was like, wow, how do they do that? I mean, do you do competitive fin swimming as well, or is it more to do with the ocean side of things?
The thing is that as growing up in Estonia, my next door neighbor Russia is really big on that. I've seen fin swimmers also in Estonia training for that, and I was always fascinated, seeing that. I haven't done competitive one yet, and I actually wanted to do this year, but as everything got postponed. But I have to say that as we know Finni's story, John Mick saw fin swimmer with the snorkel and monofin, and that's how we got the brand started. And I always was as a person who's advocate getting more people towards to the water. I'm always interested of how many angles swimming can go, and as watching all the swimmers, I always was a little bit jealous because I was like, they move so gracefully and so nicely, and actually when I started my mermaid life, and I have the mermaid school, I go around the world and teach people kind of be a mermaid, but through the swimming. I started putting together what I saw from the fin swimmers and what Ariel is on a Disney World and what Michael Phelps is good at it. He's good at it, underwater fifth stroke. And that's how I learned so much about fin swimming. And as well that fin swimming really wants to be an Olympics. And it's funny you mentioned 3 days ago, Katie Hoff, a really good American swimmer, also posted on Instagram that she never knew that there was a fin swimming sport and how fascinating it is.
I
And
mean, we knew about the mermaid. There's always a movement of those who do mermaid swimming that they're starting to offer it here as well in Malaysia. But fin swimming to me is like, oh, you're doing it in training, and you use your fins as you normally would do. And yeah, so I was asking, because it's one of the sports that our Southeast Asian Games is on the list for consideration. And I was like, oh, what's this? How is it a competitive sport? So
yeah,
so we YouTube and had a look at it, and it's like, oh wow. And it's amazing. We were watching I think it was they have their own world championships, right? And it was supposed to be 400 meters,
mm-hmm.
and they have that little tank
On the
front bit, and I was looking, so we were looking at all the different kinds of fins that everyone had, and I saw some of the fins, like Finnish fins, and I was watching them and they like do the turn and do the tumble turn as well, because those fins are not easy to flip over, and I was like watching them like, bang, that's amazing.
And they
I've
also have
not tried, but yeah.
they also have 800, and I really think when I keep pushing my mermaid thing in the ocean, they might come over and start doing open water races like that.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. I can't imagine. I mean, you have free divers, right? And they do without the little.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried competitive fin swimming, or?
I mean, my coach always put us wearing monofins, and we had to do 50s underwater, and by time, everything. And I was like always like really close to sign up for the competition, but never happened. But never say never. And they also have a World Cups, and one World Cup supposed to be here in Florida
Oh, wow.
and uh, and I wanted to take part of it because they keep inviting me, like, hey, come please. And I was really trying to schedule that with my Tokyo stuff, but sadly everything is postponed today.
Well, never say never. It's an entire possibility, right? I mean, I can't imagine. It'd be kind of cool to try.
Yeah,
Um,
but
it's interesting.
that gives you perspective that, swimming is not only one lap or two laps. Swimming is so much bigger, and so many ways the water is connecting. I mean, the fact that Estonian and Malaysian is talking here because we are connected through the water just shows you that keep being in the swimming sport, never walk away. I mean, I know building a career same time is hard. I do that on myself, but then another thing what I have learned during these years is that water is what actually makes us better and being more, mentally healthy, physically healthy, and sometimes the water fixes all the world problems. You just go in and you meditate there,
And
and
you just
and I
mellow out, and it seems a lot better, or you find clarity, right, in what you're doing.
exactly. And the same thing I do with the open water. I mean, so many female athletes walk away after 25 for sure, from pool swimming. And in Estonia, sadly, it's after the high school. And I'm 29 years old and I'm still doing sport while building a career and living other side of the world and being digital norm. But things are possible, and let's keep embracing each other and let's keep the sport alive.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, like you were saying that a lot of, especially distance swimmers, will make the progression into open water because you're
Mhm.
not so, I'd say tied by age, but you can be a little bit older, and while you're doing the more distance and open water events.
Yeah, and the thing why what I got so excited was, like, I went to the World Championships in Budapest, and the German swimmer was the same age as my mom, and I was like, if
Wow,
if she's doing it and she's doing fast,
you can still do it, right? I
so
can.
I can do it. I building a business as while being young, but I still can swim fast. And if you look triathlon, for example, most of the best female athletes are older. So there is a little tip for females. It's never too late to continue with the sport.
I'm 47.
Wow.
So I came back to swimming maybe 4.5, 5 years ago, after a long break, longer than you've been alive, I must say. Um, but yeah, a lot of us tend to retire just after high school, because you don't necessarily, especially at the time that I was swimming, you don't necessarily have stuff that for when you are older. After the age group and maybe one or two other events. But now, you can see that you've got masters events, you have open water, you have slightly different age groups so you could keep swimming for as long as you want. And like you said, you got triathlon, you got open water, you got so many options, right? In and out of water, that you can do, which is
Yeah.
amazing. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was asked to walk away so many times, and I have been told so many times, you are like, hey, like, look, like, here's like 13-year-olds. Why you still showing up for 50 breast or swimming 200 breaststroke? But if you actually love it, why you have to walk away? And that's what I try to do every day with my social media and with my work, because I represent Finnish in Scandinavian Baltics, and just showing the woman that, I am. It is hard to figure out what to do after high school and college and how to build a career because you have to make money, but you if you heart loves it, then
You
this
will
is
find
the
a way to.
it's the journey,
Yes.
and if you feel lost, reach out to me. I can talk all about that. But it's important, and what we do today, that we sharing the message and we sharing the strength together.
I think that's what I mean. The kids, I feel that they also gain at seeing us, either we swim with them or train with them or even race with them, because they're like, oh wow, there is a progression. There is life after swimming within swimming, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily that. I mean, sometimes depending on the experiences that you had, you do need that walk away for a while and then come back to it. That's also many people's journey, but it is a journey. That's why I loved masters and seeing when I was masters in Japan, and you seeing 90 plus plus, and they're swimming and they're like so happy, and you're like, if I could do that. I mean, I think there was a world. What, she was like 95 and she swam the 1,005. I'm like, respect, and
Yeah.
that's inspiration to someone that, you know, whether you were a competitive swimmer before, uh, or you're new to the swimming world. It's all a journey, and if you, it keeps you healthy and happy, and you want to keep doing it for as long as you can, and it's an amazing. I mean, like you were saying, getting people connected, getting that community, and you know, someone will meet someone, and then, or some people that you haven't seen in like forever, you know, for X number of years. We won't go that far. And then, you know, it's the connection, right? You feel the connection through that. And
Exactly. I mean, the 84-year-old woman who was doing ice swimming, I mean, she's inspiration to me. Is that, yeah, you can live in Florida, but why not to still do ice swimming, you know?
never
And
say never, right?
right, and that's what I believe, that we are so connected through the ocean, and that's why I'm so passionate saving the oceans and raising the awareness for oceans, and and that's how I felt that I need to do something as a mermaid, but as you know, bringing something new on the field of swimming 10K with a mermaid fin without using my arms, and and honestly, it just shows you how much you love the mother nature, and without ocean we will not be, you know, connected. We need ocean, we need for oxygen, we need to exist, and open water swimmer really depends on ocean, and all the things what's going on with the being warm waters. um I think it was I don't remember what university games was in Taipei, but that got me thinking the most about it is though I think the open water got canceled there.
Is
And
the warmth of the
yeah, it was too warm. And what happened with the American swimmer Frank Rippon dying because the heart rate couldn't handle the heat. And that got, that day when I heard that Taipei University Games open water event got canceled, was a huge wake up call to me, that I can put all the hours and being happy around swimming and training for that. But if there is a kids and coaches who are preparing for that one event and then it gets canceled, it's devastating news. It's a devastating news for the athletes, coaches, sport. And that's the reason why I'm so vocal about, also in a competitive world, that hey, we are connected through the water, but we need to do, maybe let's do everybody beach cleanups with our communities, and let's save these oceans so we can have the source where to swim.
I mean, yeah, the like you said, we got what, seven oceans around the world. I'm going to fail my geography now, but they're all interconnected, and this definitely changes, you know, in nature and the weather and so on. And yeah, it's something to think about, uh, what we need to do to make sure that we are able to swim as long. and as comfortably as possible. I was thinking maybe we could take a couple of questions from the audience. Yeah, we have an audience. Zul, maybe we can take some. Hi, everybody. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Brennan is asking, how do professional mermaids keep their eyes open underwater? Doesn't the salt water sting?
You know what? I don't know if it's my theory, but I feel like the light eye mermaids have a harder time to keep the eyes open under the water. It's like my mom has a brown eyes and she always says she can look towards to the sun and I'm like, I can't see it. But the truth is that I try to tell myself that it's just like I'm trying not to freak out. Everything is like, meditating and preparing your mindset. And I try always keep the eyes open to see where I'm going first. But I just have to say that I am a big fan using goggles when I'm in open water, and when the water comes in, I'm always like, I had a race where I had one eye full of
That's the
water.
man.
Yeah,
because you can still sort of see, and then but it's like
like it makes your muscles feel foggy as well. but it was the mindset what helped me through that race, because I kind of knew where are the sightseeings, because you during the practice before the race you kind of look what kind of building or mountain or where to go. And I kept like seeing that blurry, and I kept one eye closed, and thanks to the mindset I got through. But if somebody tells me let's go and swim for an hour in the ocean without the goggles, I'm not really a fan of that. And it's just me.
I've never tried. I mean, even in because I wear contacts, right? So even in pool, and when you try out the different fins, and you're like, I can't deny. So I just wear goggles.
Yeah.
But I know that some folk, I mean, it's the whole idea of it's freeing, right? You're not wearing goggles, you just, so that, but can't.
I mean, sometimes when I film in a video or a movie, or actually I recorded a song, so I want to film a little music video for that. For that, I make an effort and I'm wearing no goggles. Like I don't wear goggles, but I think on my mindset, I'm happier when I have goggles on.
It's the pool. I think it's the pool swimming. Like it is part of. It's like an extension of yourself, right? You're so used to wearing, this is the gear, and you have been like how many hours would we have been swimming with it on? So it's very odd not having it, right?
Right.
And I have friends who swim backstroke without goggles, which is not so bad, I think. But it's just odd to me.
Yeah. I feel I keep my technique better when I have goggles on and clear vision.
That really helps.
Yes.
You can see where you're going rather than right into the wall or the right. Hi, Finis Malaysia has tuned in. Hi, Merle. Thank you for joining us. What have you experienced swimming in open water that concerns you about ocean conservation?
So I have to say that lately, during the quarantine, I have seen more trash during my practices, and it really bothers me because you're there, you're enjoying the nature, and you seeing that trash, it cuts like straight to your throat. Because another day I was chasing a fish and trying to get the trash away from the fish so the fish doesn't eat it. Yeah, and that's the video. That's how I practice sometimes. I mean, it's good to have an extra weight on your suit, right? But I mean,
not
it's
plastic.
No, and that's the thing. It ends up in our animal's stomach, and then we're gonna eat that. because it goes to their tissues, to toxins, and then we're gonna get that. I mean, they even did a study that omega fish oil already has a toxin in it. So it's really scary what's going on, and this has become my everyday life. Picking up trash during the practices. I mean, you just can't swim over. Even when you have a speed set, I sometimes tell my friends like, "Hey, I'm going back and picking up that trash. Just wait me." Because I can't sometimes continue practice because mentally it's so hard to see that.
You just don't want to leave it. I mean,
No, but sometimes it's so much that you don't have space on a suit, and
and you're like,
yeah, and I have to say I have a secret how I swim now. I'm gonna show you. So, as Finnish people know,
I know that bag. I've got one of those.
that's how I put over my shoulder, and that's how I swim. That's my resistance training, but I pick up so many trash there into there and continue swimming. And John Mix, Finnish founder, actually sent a couple of mesh bags to my open water club, so more swimmers in my club can be
Oh, that's
like
wonderful.
like that. And honestly, with the quarantine, what has freaked me out the most is that there is more mask in the water now than ever before. And I was thinking all this, pause on the earth was helping us, but right now I'm seeing actually a worry because so many fishes get stuck on those masks, and there was even a bird who couldn't fly up because the mask was wrapped around the wings.
Oh,
So I am really concerned what's going on, and this all affects us. And if we don't fix what we're doing now, we're gonna have another pandemic. We lost oceans.
well, I can't imagine. I mean, we would think, the recycling and the appropriate places to go through your trash or get rid of your trash, especially in the US, but I guess not. The considering how much I mean, if every time you train, you guys are always picking up trash as you go along, it's quite, I won't say shocking, but it's a surprise. You don't think about it, when you think of the US or anywhere else that you would every day. I mean, assuming you train every day, right? You would have that to do. Wow.
Yes, and I am really vocal about that. I bring constantly. Miami Herald did a story about that. How during the quarantine I was picking up more trash than being able to train, and I constantly bring in media. Just look what's going on in our oceans, and my concern is the little microplastic, what is called also a mermaid tears, and those little microplastic one day ended up in my mouth, and I had to spit it out. And I am a professional swimmer. If there's a kid or an older person who just swims breaststroke around and the wave comes and the plastic comes to the mouth, I mean, what that does with the
That's not
first
safe at all,
people
right?
and what that does with the animals and their stomach is terrifying. And as training right now for a next world record, I actually got injured because of microplastic. I was swimming with my fin on, and the little microplastic got inside my toe, and it cut straight into my feet. And when I took the fin out, I saw that like a little sharp knife on my toe. Yeah, there is a laptop even in
Oh
ocean.
wow,
It's yes,
it's extremely
it's
sad as well.
it is bad. And the thing is that, like, to me, Miami, what we see on movies, can be the ocean capital, and do something about that. And it's a constant fight with the world. And it's like, listen, if you lose that ocean view because of plastic river, then what else you gonna sell in this world? And I'm really trying to be vocal that with politicians as well and bringing awareness. And I'm glad there's so many ocean cleanup projects, but it's never enough. And it has to start that we need to find people, I think. And it should be like, it's scary to leave trash somewhere around, because even if you leave it on the street, it could, with the rain comes all the way down to, yeah, that's my everyday life here.
Oh, that's a crazy amount.
Yeah. And it comes with the rain mostly down to the ocean. And
Washes down and
yeah, we need these big nets. We keep talking with communities. We need these big nets on the front of the holes on a seawall to fix that, because it's a time. And as Miami is a little bit party city as well, with the boats, people are out and going to the islands, and that's why I'm swimming around the islands, my 20K, to bring awareness to these islands in Miami. And they often leave stuff in island. I have found a toilet. I found a vacuum machine. I'm like, who needs a vacuum machine in ocean? I have found so many, like tires. I'm like, I don't get it. You don't leave trash in islands. It's not fine. And honestly, I feel the COVID kind of tells us we need to work together, and it's time to really work together with the oceans as well.
I mean, like you were saying, it's what connects us all, right?
Exactly. So whatever happens in Malaysia or Florida can affect Estonia, can affect Australia, can affect Europe, can affect Canada. So we need help to help each other countries. And as we know, Malaysia have been taking such a responsibility with the trash, especially American trash. It's just insane. I did the research that there is this city, if I don't know if I pronounce right, Jenjarum.
Dendarum?
Yeah, and
Denjarum?
yes, and they take like 19,000 tons of plastic. It's it's insane amount how much plastic they taken in, and
And that's just one country. So you can imagine, how many others around, especially the developing world, what, what comes our way. It's like passing the problem down the line, right? As opposed to dealing with it in a more direct way.
Yeah, but I think it's time, because if we don't fix that problem, we're gonna have more bacteria, more viruses, more pollution, more problems with the air, and our economics gonna suffer way more than we do it today. And it's a big problem, and I try to push so many ways as possible, and I feel swimming community is what gets affected the most on that.
Well, that's amazing to hear. I mean, sad. I mean, it's a sad truth, right? But there are those who are working really hard for ocean conservation.
Yeah, that little fish here, it's it lives there on a swim buoy, and we went to chill. It's like a little fish there. We went to like look the fish, but this fish is like a dog. It comes straight to you and bites you, and it's like that little.
It's like defending its
And I had
territory.
to, what?
It's like defending its territory. Is that the fish? That little.
Yeah, yeah. If you look, that's like a Whole Foods around it. So it's like the fish is like, this is my cleanest food. Don't come here.
Like, don't touch my stuff, right? You're trying to take
No,
my food.
exactly.
That's cool though. It's like just there randomly.
But yeah, but it's like a funny experience, like you have like a conversation with the fish, and I have to say, so often when I do a cleanup, every time when I finish a cleanup, dolphin shows up. There is like this kind of like combination with the nature and the relationship with the nature, what is, you can't even put that to the words sometimes, but seeing dolphins coming up right after when you finish cleaning up the ocean, it's a sign that they are thankful.
It must be an amazing experience. So
Yeah, there they are.
Oh, dolphins.
Yeah, that was actually, we did a research how dolphins react to mermaid, and I was swimming with the Finnish Luna fin, and they were crazy. They were like, "What is this thing on your feet?" And they were touching that with their nose, and I went to swim like, and then they came to swim with me, giving me the tail, and then we swam together with the mermaid kicks, and I went upside down, kind of like say mermaid high with the Luna fin. And when I came up, they did that too with
Oh
their own
wow.
fin. So it was an interesting experience to see how dolphins react to mermaid.
Yeah, the Luna fin is my favorite. Well, it's the only mermaid fin I have right now. But yeah, it's it's fluid, right? It's an amazing. I have not tried it in the ocean, so that's the next step when I go to one of our islands in September. It's coming along for sure.
Yeah, that's where I tested Luna in ice cold.
Oh wow.
That was the first prototype.
Oh man. I'm just looking at the cold parts beside the walls are how cold was it?
0.1, I believe.
And you're not wearing a wetsuit.
No, and I actually came to that uh, test straight from the pool where I was teaching mermaids for 2 hours inside the water. So I was already freezing in a pool, and then I came to do that.
Can't imagine being cold, that cold. Also, your body acclimatizes in the way when you get over that initial like, whoa, right?
Yeah,
And if you
yeah.
keep moving, it's good.
It's what I have learned with meditation, and as an athlete, you are so often on this kind of field where you have so many butterflies and fears, and you have to learn how to connect with your body and stay calm and balanced and ready to do conquer the world and task and obstacles, even in a business. And I have learned to put that to the ice swimming, so that's helpful.
That's awesome. Can we take some more questions from the audience, so please? Somewhere. Oh,
uh, that's a good question, and I have to say, what helped me the most was moving next day. I went to actually bike riding next day to keep my legs going. Um, yes, I have to say my hips and lower back were feeling the pain, and I mean that's normal because I wasn't swimming just slowly. I was swimming fast. 10K. My 10K time was 2 hours and 54 minutes. So that's the world record. Who wants to beat it? um, and it was in the ocean in Los Angeles, and if you think about the men's time was 2 hours and 11 minutes, so I wasn't that far from regular men's swimmer. But I have to say that yoga and Pilates are my favorite, and it's something what I try to do. And as well, there is this thing what is really popular in Europe and US, but I hope one day in Asia. It's called body roll. So I kind of like go to the machine what rolls out all my body, and same time they have like a light color what goes deep into your tissues and kind of heals your tension places. So I hope one day Malaysia gonna get that too because it's really helpful to me. And there it is.
I saw that on your Instagram the other day, and I was like, "Is that a medieval torture device?" Because at when you first look at it, it's like, okay,
It's cool.
interesting.
It's called the social distance lazy people massage.
It's a bread maker.
Bread maker. But if you go back and you look at old Soviet Union women, how they kept they didn't wear a corset, but how they kept themselves in a shape. They were like kind of like rolling their bodies, and it keeps your body flows and everything what gets stuck there. And that's really good for the hips. And I have to say that um, it's really important to take care of your hips. If you don't take care of them, then my grandmother, who had, I think, 8 different hip replacement
Oh, wow.
operations, really have taught me that make sure you take care of your hips when you're young.
My mom had a hip replacement quite a few years back, and it's supposed to be not say hereditary, but the possibility is definitely greater. And we were like, okay, that's why partly why I also came back to swimming and the whole fitness side of things is because I was like, no, I need to do something. I think at the time was just turned 40, uh, and I was like, yeah, I can't. No, that's not the direction in which I wanted to go. And then okay, slowly, and then swimming seemed like the most natural thing to start with first. Though the first time I swam, I thought 50 meters was the longest thing ever. Not having swum for like forever. Um, and then now I swim a lot more than 50. So it's a journey, like we were saying as well. Um, so I would like to ask, what is your favorite uh, fin fins to use? Um,
Well, when I'm on my mermaid zone, it is Finis Luna. And the reason why I really like that is I see with kids too who maybe struggle learning the butterfly kick, and somehow the Luna, the way how it's built and designed, it gives them the right way to connect and catch the mermaid kick there, the
it helps
dolphin.
with undulation because that's how you're going to move, right? It helps with.
Yeah, and I feel that kids are learning that way faster to actually swim butterfly and with Luna, I love also to do the breaststroke arms or butterfly arms and swim around with the Luna, and it's so easy to maintain, so easy to flip around, so easy to. It's not. It is a little bit heavy, but if you start swimming, you don't feel it. You feel more light after you
You feel
compared
more
to
fluid, right? As if it's
yeah,
part
you
of
go
you.
in with the flow. But when I'm on my competitive world side, I love the PDF, the positive drive fins, because as a breaststroker, but as well, like it's great because I feel it puts you kick on the right place, and I'm never a fans of those fins who makes you really really fast quickly. I'm more fans of those fins who taking care of your feet.
Yep. Am I still okay? So, I mean, just coming back to if anyone is interested in getting the Luna Fin or
Mm.
anything else, we have a discount code for Swimshop TU. It is the 10% off with dugongs if on regular items. Swimshop TU is one of my sponsors and associated with Fitness Malaysia as well. You can use dugongs for 10% off normal retail price items. We also have a promotion. I'm going to do the promotion thing first. The promotional with slide trainers. Tomorrow is the last day. You can get 20% off the finished slide trainers using the discount code slide the Kopi. Totally awesome. Until tomorrow, the 9th of August.
And definitely get the slide trainers. Whatever place in the world you travel, you learn to use your core. You learn to use that strength, that balance strength, the rotation, and it's kind of also mental training before you go to in, and you can take that everywhere. So I definitely recommend to do that and buy
I
that.
just started using it during we had our lockdown, well, semi lockdown now, but yeah, we had our lockdown, and I started using it recently. And then we had Charlie Peterson last weekend talking about the many ways you can use the slide trainer. So yeah, it's been awesome. And yeah, if you want to get the Luna fin, we have 2 sizes, also available on Swimshop to you, and you can use the Dugong's code, 10% off too. Totally awesome. We have some really good questions actually from the audience still.
Oh, I'm great. Keep asking.
So can you bring that up? Hang on.
You know,
Sorry.
I see the question. You know what? There are mermaids, and I have to say, I know a guy who was 59 years old. He walked into mermaid school, and he said, "I'm tired of teaching all these ways to swim. Can I learn to swim, and then I can become a merman?" And he said, after the when we were done with the mermaid school, that that's way more fun than just swimming up and down. So, and I have learned that so many men who doesn't maybe show the stress always, to them going underwater and doing this
It's freedom.
dolphin mermaid kick exactly is their meditation. It's good their mental health, and so many men actually they want to do that. So let them be mermaids. So and don't be afraid to come out to be a mermaid.
You hear that, Brennan? You know, when you should come out and start doing the whole butterfly fluid movement, and when you go in some open water, it's amazing just to go through there and be one with the ocean around you, right?
Yeah, I have to say that a couple of weeks ago, because I have never seen a hammerhead shark. A couple of weeks ago, I was training, and the way how I train right now, I have weights on and then resistant cord behind me, and then the mermaid Luna fin. And I saw the hammerhead shark, and I was like, I have never seen on a nature. And I start chasing the shark actually by
Most
swimming
people
like.
would go the other way, and we just go, oh, look, what's that over there?
And I think because I was on that meditation zone and the shark felt that energy. So there is a lots of great energy while doing just like that.
I mean, one of the races that, one of my favorite races to do, or the places to swim, is this island called Perhentian on east coast of Peninsula Malaysia, and you get to see black-tipped sharks. And 1 year, apparently, well, I didn't get to see that one. A whale shark had come visiting, so one of the swimmers got to see that, and I'm still waiting for that whale shark to come visit them again. It's hopefully 1 year you get to come out and try the race with us. Hopefully, Round Island, 16K, you can do it with fins. Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing a 20 km,
20K.
20K. Hey, 16 is nothing after that, isn't it? Yeah, hopefully you get to come out and experience it too.
Yeah, that's another way how I swim and
Is
train.
that resistance band, the bungee?
Yeah, the stretch cord. But I have to say that I actually like to swim with the tri-land cord. I don't have a video about that because right now with the social distancing, it's hard to capture somebody to film. But I love to swim with Luna, and then I have the Finnish tri-land dragonfly, the parachute behind me. And another day, one guy was asking me like, "Hey, but it looks heavy," and I said, "Yeah, you have to put it so heavy, so it is heavy
You build that
because
strength as you
exactly." I'm going against the mother nature. I need to have all the strength.
Oh, I love the dry fly. It's amazing.
Do you have a favorite open water place? You know, every place has a magic. I have to say, how I fell in love to open water was when I was swimming under Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And when I there's a this kind of cancer event, Finis was involved, and I got invited. So I went there, and they take the boat under the Golden Gate Bridge, and then you jump off from the boat and start swimming towards to the Alcatraz. And that was kind of the moment when I fell in love with open water and realized, listen, breaststroker can do open water too. But just you are going on a back and seeing that massive bridge. And my grandmother always had the stories about that bridge. I mean, it's everybody knows San Francisco thanks to that bridge. And I think everywhere is something amazing. Of course, I love the most the blue oceans. Who doesn't, right? It's a mermaid dream to live on a blue oceans. But because I feel so amazed of how much we can do for ocean by cleaning up the ocean, that's why I think send me whatever place and I will find beauty. Sometimes when there's even dark water, but you put the head up and you see the mountains or the nature or the city, that is the moment where you fell in love with the ocean and open water. So I think every place has their own beauty.
I mean, you find beauty if your mind is open and you're just open to the experience, and then you never know uh, what you might see or what what could happen. I mean, it's like someone was swimming along, and then the whale shark just happened to casually swim by, and it's something that's an unusual occurrence. You never know, right? If your mind is open to the experience, it's
Right, and I'm from Estonia. I never saw dolphin or shark in my life, and moving here, I mean, I had to learn to feel that, but I also learned that I see something what so many humans in this world don't see it. So be proud of that. You know, like the person who saw the shark is one experience more richer now, thanks to that encounter with the nature.
do you have another question or two? We've got some really cool questions out there.
I'm glad everybody showed up.
It's afternoon. It's not 3 a.m. for us. So
My favorite mermaid outfit. I think I had one in a Good Morning America TV show. That was one of my favorites. It's a blue, and blue represents so many ways to me. It's in my country flag. It's in my Viking Beauty company business. It's blue is an ocean,
in the ocean, right? Yeah.
sky. So blue to me, if I wear blue, that's my one of my favorites. I know everybody thinks about Ariel, that you like green tail and purple seashell, but to me, I like the blue one.
Do you get them custom made or
Yes. So there is the thing. What I want to be really upfront is that never buy a mermaid tail, um, what is not custom made, because it can fall down and make it more difficult to swim. And the parents who are looking, start with the mermaid fin first. Let the kids, let the people
get
get
used
them
to the,
feel the fin, because when you put that mermaid outfit on, your legs are so stuck, and to escape from that is even harder. So I know there has been accidents with kids who are right away putting a mermaid outfit on. Start with the fin, and then um, go to the outfit. And I get them custom made here in Florida. And actually, the same company ones are used by Kim Kardashian and Beyonce daughters. And I helped a little bit design that. So
well, that's awesome. We can share maybe later on. We'll share a link on the company if you let me know what the how to link to the company that does the custom mermaid. I
yeah,
share
and
that
it's
later.
if somebody has a knowledge how to make from plastic bottles a mermaid fin outfit, let me know too, because I'm looking to do that.
That would be an awesome way to not only clean up the ocean, but
Yeah,
utilize whatever you've gathered, as it were.
I mean,
Um,
I did one here. Uh, Finnish John Mix knows that. This is a, as you see, little Finnish is written here, and
oh wow, that's so cool.
that's from the recycled plastic already.
Oh wow, that's so cute. That's the start. Bottle. Okay, that's really cute. It's
Yeah,
purple,
it's we got it that made.
but it's like, yeah, trying to find a wearable material that you could convert. I think there are certain brands that have been experimenting, right, with getting material from recycling plastic in order to get cloth. It would be cloth. Is it cloth? You guys use
Yeah,
cloth, or
yeah, yeah,
yeah? So to get that, that would be interesting.
yeah.
You never
On
know. Someone might be watching and go, "Hey, I got this," and
exactly. If you,
why not?
why not to throw it out here and ask
And see what
some,
the universe brings to you. You never
right?
know. Um, let's have a Brennan's question. I just saw it. So, yeah. What is the one training aid you wish was designed specifically for mermaid training? Something that hasn't existed, but you think could be great to help.
Oh, you know what? I have to say, I was thinking a long time how I can get people holding the legs together, and I figured that out. Axis swim buoy,
Mm.
but
With
that
the,
is
the clamp
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. So that you put it legs together, and then you can teach them kicking like that. And I have to say, there is so many Finnish products what actually can help the mermaid swimming. I have seen that for 5 years now, and I have got everybody to learn to swim. So I have one product what I'm developing, and I can't spill the tea or coffee here,
Sure.
but
Or,
but
you whisper it quietly.
I have to present that to a Finnish quarter in San Francisco, and we'll see. It's something what helps with ice swimmers as well.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. So y'all heard it here first. Something is in development for mermaids and ice swimmers as
Yeah,
well.
and probably when I'm swimming my 20K, I have a time to think about it.
Yeah, you got a lot of time to think about it when you're swimming the 20K. When will you be doing your record attempt?
It's gonna be 20th of August, what is actually Estonian re-independence day from Soviet Union. So it has a magical day on that. And it's gonna be here in Miami, and probably through my social media, you can watch me live. We're working on that techie stuff there, and I'm gonna swim the 20K without using my arms. So it's gonna be interesting on that sense that it's gonna take me 7 hours, I think.
I can't imagine, that 20K. I mean, it's already like swimming 16K or whatever it is with the arms as well is already, taxing, um, especially mentally. Um, I'm sure you go through this as well when you're swimming marathon races, or I mean, I know now FINA Worlds has the 25K. This is the Axis Pool Boy.
Really good.
I
Really
use it with swimmers that can't really
keep
get
the
their,
hips up.
yeah. So they love doing that, using that. So I have a lot of toys, as we like to say, as men.
Yeah,
teammates and swimmers will know that, yeah, I have a car boot worth of many, many interesting things.
Well, the toys actually make the practice interesting.
More toys. Yeah,
More
bring on more toys.
Bring on.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit. I mean, why did you choose to make this world record attempt system?
So because I supposed to be on 29th of May in Tokyo, but everything got postponed with Olympics and Olympic qualifying meets. And while during the lockdown, I was just swimming in the ocean, and no pools were open, and I felt okay. It's amazing. All the beaches were closed, but I had my secret spots where I could swim, and police even was fine with that because we were keeping social distancing from each other. And while I was training, I was like, I keep seeing masks everywhere, and there's nothing going on in this world anyway. So why not to have a project, and why not to have something to bring awareness for ocean, to bring awareness that we are connected, to bring awareness that we need to respect each other as we had to respect the nature. And because last year I did 10K, I was like, it's 2020. This year is already different, crazy enough. So why not to go for crazy swim? And as well, bringing awareness to Florida warm waters that we need to fix that so we don't have hurricanes. And I guess the number 20 was speaking so deeply there. So I was like, okay, 20th of August, I'm gonna swim 20K.
Wow. Well, we look forward to seeing your attempt, and we'll be cheering. I'm not sure what time of the day it is for us, but we'll definitely be cheering you on as you are making that attempt. And
it's gonna be nighttime for you. I start at 8 o'clock in Miami time, so it's gonna be
8 p.m. for us on the 20th, which is a holiday here, I think.
20th of August is a holiday for you?
Yeah, we actually have quite a lot of public holidays. If you ever visit Malaysia, you will realize that we have a lot of public holidays. So I'm not sure which public holiday is on I think it's the 20th. There is a public holiday. So hey, we can 8 o'clock watch your starting on your very long
swim.
Yeah.
But 20th of August is also holiday for Estonia because that's the day when we got freedom. And 20th of August, actually, my grandmother was standing in front of Russian tank and saying, "Hey, shoot me or give me my country back." And that's the day when the freedom and the peace and everything came.
Wow.
So it's funny in Malaysia.
Day for you, right? And
You're right. It's like Malaysia is celebrating Estonian Day, I guess.
Well, we any reason to celebrate, have a holiday, and hang out with friends and have food and swim is all good.
All good.
It's all good. So we will be cheering you on, and definitely I'll be watching. Oh, the 20th is the New Year, so it's a holiday, a new year, new beginning, new race.
Right. Everything is connected.
That's right. And I look forward to. We'll share Merle's links and where you can watch her world record attempt as well. After this, I'll share it on the Facebook page as well as Instagram. But yeah, it's amazing. I can't imagine 20K swimming, let alone no hands with the just your fins.
Yeah, so when I was doing 10K, my shoulders got tired just holding, not doing it. And they got cold as well. So in some point I was like swimming like this.
Because you're like, oh man. Yeah, because you would have to have 20K no hands. I mean, you would
No.
have to have amazing core and lower back, and to keep that going.
Yeah,
Um,
keeping mermaid Pilates on every day.
oh man, I wish you all the best, and we're
Thank
rooting for you, and I know the rest of the fitness family as well, and everyone who's watching will be cheering you on, and be glad that it's not us doing it. Well, we're there in spirit beside you.
Yes, yes, you're like a dolphins around me.
Yeah,
So
that's right. We're there in spirit, and all that, and it's amazing what you've been doing, and what you're trying to do for not only open water but mermaids and the oceans as well, as an advocate for cleaner oceans. So that's amazing.
well, we all need this, and together we make a difference.
We're gonna take one last question, I think, before we one item about ice swimming. I think because everyone's fascinated by the ice swimming part. Because for us, being in the tropics, right? So you're like, oh, I'm not sure how it works. But how do you stand the cold when you're doing ice swimming?
Well, the reason why I moved up from Estonia to Florida is because I hated cold. And then I have to say it's mental. There is this guy who I heard actually later when I was done with the World Championship, ice swimming World Championship. It's called Wim Hof, and he's a big advocacy that how through breathing you can set the tone with your success, with your mental health, with your being strong. Like he even gives lessons right now how to do breathing exercises so you don't get COVID. And and honestly, it's really the truth that sometimes we forget to breathe. We breathe in so much, the news and the negativity and everything, but that stays, in our tissues and in our skin, even when we breathing in that negative worlds. And he kind of teaches you how to breathe the positive out, and being happy in the world, and be more connected with yourself, because number one thing, you have to love yourself first. And I think with ice swimming, what really helped me is that you you have to kind of understand that your every human being is able to do it, but it starts everything mental and breathing. So, like, for example, tip what I give to people when they go into do ice swimming: first do a three really big breaths in, hold like 20 seconds, and then out, and then do 30 really, really fast breathing exercises. And your lungs going to be so much better, and you're going to be so clear, even as a swimmer, to because all your muscles are opened up, and more flexibility is possible after that. So breathing is really important in ice swimming, because the number one, what happens when we feel something, we want to let go and hide ourselves, right? We want to go, I call that, we want to go to cocoa bean, inside a cocoa bean, but actually the world is not that scary place. We should embrace and be like, here we are, like strong Viking woman, right? Here we are, I'm ready to conquer the world and bring it on, because I'm so peaceful and positive that I can handle everything.
That's awesome. Our idea with ice swimming is it's ice. Well, ice cream is good.
I
That
mean,
also keeps us going. You know.
yeah, it makes us happy and positive, and then feels comfortable. It's like a comfortable food, and it keeps us going through the life, because we only have one life, so let's enjoy it.
That's right. Do you have a favorite flavor of ice cream?
My favorite ice cream, I have to say, I like strawberry ice cream with these little M&Ms and
Sounds
mixed.
very good. So you got a bit of the
But
crunchy with
also,
strawberry.
yeah, but also, I love the ice cream what I in Estonia I make from my own raspberries from my garden. So you take your raspberry jam, where my grandmother have taught me to kind of squeeze the seeds out, so the raspberry jam doesn't have any seeds what gets stuck on your teeth. And then you make that homemade made farmers market farmers market milk, the creamy one, and then you put on a freezer, and that's the best. But
Wow.
sadly, I'm not at home, so I can't get my raspberry jam.
Oh, I can imagine. It reminds you of home, right? That's what
Yeah,
a lot of it is. It's yes, raspberry ice cream with sprinkles.
it's such a mermaid thing.
We're just happy people. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Mr. So, no. Once the pandemic is over and it can be arranged, will you accept an invitation to come to Malaysia to share about food?
I have been waiting this day to do that.
It'll happen. It'll happen. You can come out and we can meet face to face
Yes.
and
And
go
we're
to
gonna go and clean the oceans and make everybody mermaids and mermaids.
with our Luna fins and our mesh bag to clean up as we go. That's a cool idea. And have ice cream.
Yes.
Very important.
Really important.
Yes.
I think like there are certain countries who make ice cream so much, better than other countries. So I honestly love to go on a trip where to try different ice creams and different foods from other countries.
Now we call it food training because, it's a very important part of that. You have to, as part of training, you got to eat and experience different things. And wherever you go, you try different things. And ice cream is one of them.
Exactly. And when you're open water swimmer, you swim your hardest because you train so much, and then you can have a little ice cream after the race.
That's right. You have plenty of different things to try when you come out to Malaysia because food is a huge deal here, and we have such a wide range of food. And
But
then,
that looks like my mermaid
I
fin.
know it's the same color as your little mermaid. That's so cool. Now we gotta get you out here when the time comes. Hopefully,
Yeah,
everyone.
and get more Malaysian people to swim.
Yes, I agree. And we will swim with our Luna fins together, and you get to experience our oceans as well.
I don't know how to arrange the ice swimming in Malaysia, but
No,
we can do that ice bath and sit there with our
yes,
fins.
their fins and do that. You can find a bathtub big enough to fit me in, I have to say, but it'll be fun, so long as it's not a bathtub of ice cream, which would be kind of messy and sticky. But
I have to say that so I have this beauty line called Viking Beauty Secrets, and our scrub. I mean, the one reason why we're doing Viking Beauty Secrets is to bring all the Viking secrets to the world. But our scrub is made from volcanic ash. So from Icelandic volcanic ash. So whatever we take from ocean, we give back to the ocean. And when you put the scrub in water, it becomes milky. And I have to say that makes me feel like a little baby. So milk sometimes for skin can be really good. So ice cream, maybe.
ice cream bath, entirely possible.
That's my Viking beauty.
We will share links as well. We got lots of links to share after that for if you're interested in Merle's Viking Beauty Secrets. Do you have, Lenny's asking, do you have, because for us, we like using waterproof makeup when we do our open water races.
Mm-hmm.
So Lenny is wondering, does the Viking Beauty Secrets include this or should?
We should. We working towards that. Like everything what we do, even like our bottles are from glass. Everything what we do, our scrub is already a recycled tube. So everything what we do is to make sure we save the oceans and keep the oceans healthy. I mean, America sadly has so many toxins inside of beauty products, and especially the scrubs they use in microbeads, but again affects the ocean and really messes up fishes. So everything what we do, even as a waterproof mascara, has to be working coexisting with the ocean. And right now we have a day cream, but actually already won award as the best moisturizer, organic moisturizer. There it is.
Oh,
We use in this kind of secret what is called sea buckthorn. It's omega-7, so not many berries in this world has a omega-7. So we use that as a superpower for our skin. And right now we have day cream, night cream, and a scrub. And eye cream is on the way, but I am working something for my mermaid hair. So there are plenty things what to work on to bring more beauty towards to the blue oceans and blue beauty, and to make sure that everything is organic. So even when you put the day cream on and you go into swim, that it doesn't affect the reefs and the water. So we take from nature, and whenever we go in the water we give back to the nature.
well, thank you very much, Merle, for joining us today. That's a whole hour and a half of is fascinating, experiences and sharing what you have done and what's coming up ahead. And yes, tune in to her Instagram and Facebook for her 20 km world record attempt on the 20th of August. 20 km, no hands, just the fins. Totally awesome. That is an amazing and oh man, it's an inspiring thing. Thank you very much for joining us today, and
And
we hope to hear more about what and more torture devices for mermaids and some point.
well, I'm so thankful to have that you had me here, and actually in an hour and a half I have to go to ocean already. but I can't wait to come to Malaysia. I have never been. The closest is Thailand and South Korea on the Asian side, but I think Asian waters need mermaids a lot. And I can't wait when this COVID is done and I can meet all of you guys, and whoever has a question can always reach out to me on Instagram as well.
Thank you, and goodbye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
And keep swimming.
Keep swimming. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.